It looked like a dog, you know. They call it like the dog man or something. I mean, this thing was built. I mean, this thing was rugged. I mean, it's something I wouldn't want to tangle with it, you know.
One night, I'm sitting there and I had a dead body in my bed.
Yes, that's when I started hearing the doors opening and closing and them walking through the house.
Giant ruby-looking thing appeared in front of me, then one next to it, then a third next to it. The third one opened up a porthole in my room.
Welcome to Myths, Monsters, and Mullets. I am your host, John Methenkamp. If you have a paranormal encounter you'd like to share, you can email me at mythsandmullets@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Facebook, Myths, Monsters, and Mullets. Message me there. We can get you on the show. Or if you want to come in the live, go to TikTok, look up john.c.h.methenkamp, and join us 7 p.m. on Sunday nights. We are looking at changing Monday nights up a little bit, maybe looking at a different night, but that's down the road a little bit. Tonight's episode, I left a little bit of the fluff in there, and I normally don't do that, but it's kind of humorous, and it kind of gives you a feel of what the lives are like. So I hope you enjoy it. Leave a comment. Let me know if you like this or if you'd rather me just get right to the interviews. But our first guest tonight is Natalie, and she had quite a few paranormal encounters, and she has what seems like some kind of psychic ability. So I hope you enjoy the show. Don't forget to leave that 5-star rating, subscribe, like, share, comment. It really helps grow the show. So find me on Spotify, Myths, Monsters, and Mullets. Follow me. Watch that first episode. Leave 5 stars. Tell everybody how great I am. I love it. I love it when people talk about how great I am. I can't get my wife to do it. You know, all she ever does is tell everybody how lazy I am. And not really. If you're new to the show, I spend a lot of time picking on my wife because she's in the same room and I want to make her laugh. It's my goal in life, just to make my wife laugh and to hear your paranormal encounters, which we haven't heard any today, and it's been 10 minutes. Yeah, she doesn't like being on camera. That's why she sits all the way across the room. That way, when she starts talking, nobody can really hear her. Sounds like a little mouse back there. Yeah, I'm about to give her a microphone though.
No.
Oh yeah,
No.
yeah. She's gonna add color commentary. You know, it'd be like watching a baseball game. I'm gonna get her at some point. She will laugh. She will snort, and you'll hear it. Because I know you're coming in for more than a mullet. I know you are. You want to hear paranormal encounters. Because that's what I want to hear. All I need you to do, comment down below. We'll get you in to tell your story. You have a ghost story? Maybe you saw Bigfoot. Maybe you got abducted by a UFO. Maybe Bigfoot was flying the UFO that had abducted you. I want to hear about it. It could happen, Becca. Why are you laughing? This is a serious subject, okay? Bigfoot flying UFOs and abducting people while they're on ghost hunts. I don't know. Welcome in. If you have a paranormal encounter you'd like to share, leave a comment down below. My mods will flag me down and tell me, hey, this person wants to tell their story. And that's my job. That's what I'm here to do, is to let the world hear your stories. Where do you start? Natalie, do you have a paranormal encounter? Because I want to hear it if you do. Would you like to come in and tell your stories? I'm going to send you an invite. You can I got you a follow, and now I'm going to send you an invite. That's fine. You can do voice only. Just turn your camera off.
It's not a very long story, but when I had just turned 18 in February, graduating in May, and I was engaged to be married in April. And my fiance then and I were living together, and we decided it would be best if we didn't live together for like the couple of months before and spend that time with friends and family. And so we did that. We dedicated our time to friends and family. And it was a Sunday, and I went with a bunch of friends to Kansas City to a mud-a-thon. And he went to his grandparents to ride dirt bikes with his twin brother and have family Sunday dinner. And I got back from the mud-a-thon, and the bunch of friends are driving me down the big country lane to our farmhouse, which you have to go out the side door to see who arrived, and because there's no vantage point at the driveway from the front of the house, so the side porch, I'd say. And so, just like normal, my mom comes to the side porch. I'm getting out of the car, and I had no pre-knowledge of the words that were about to come out of my mouth. But as she walked up to me, she never said a word. I grabbed her by both shoulders and said, "What is it? Is it Bart? Is he dead?" And she just looked at me, choked up, and said, "Yes." And he was not sick. It was an accident. He hit his head, tried to jump a ditch and didn't make it, hit his head, and drowned in 4 inches of water face down. But somehow, some way, I knew. That's about
I
it.
mean, like, you just had like a premonition of this, or
But I didn't even know. I didn't know I had a premonition. I can't explain it. I did not know those words were going to come out of my mouth. I had no pre-thought of making those words. Do you understand what yeah, I don't know even what to say about this whole thing. Never have. But I mean, I've got so many, yeah, but that's a good one to start with.
yeah, that is holy cow.
Oh, somebody missed it.
Oh, that's all right. He should have been in here earlier.
Darn it.
That's my co-host. I can say that to him.
Okay,
Uh,
good.
so, oh wow, that
This led to a whole series of things, and I don't want to get people coming at me or anything like that. But I did end up working with a group out of Kansas City, a well-known ghost hunting group, as as a seer or a psychic, I suppose. But I grew up with that, so it's not uncommon. My mom would be running through the house and go, because back in the day on the TV they'd say, "It's 12:30." Remember that?
yeah.
My mom would just be running through the house and go, "Oh, what time is it?" And the TV would answer her. And I a lot of times, like, I won't have talked to somebody for maybe a year, maybe two. This happened to me with my cousin just not too long ago. I was in a really, really bad place, clear out of the blue. I'm sitting in a really bad spot, and I don't want to get into the details. But I was about to make a decision, and both decisions were very negative. And he calls me just out of the blue, and he says, "Will you quit that right now? I'll come and get you out of this deal." I mean, wow.
So like he didn't even know what was going on.
No, no inkling. Hadn't talked to him in probably a year and 18 months.
Wow. So you
Yep.
got like connections with other people. It's not just you having these premonitions.
I wished I knew more about it, and I wished I could harness it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like one night, I went to meet a group of people, and we're sitting there, and there's a guy beside me that I did not know. We had not spoke, but every time I'd look at him, I know this is crazy. You guys are going to think I'm crazy. Every time I'd look at that guy, I would see the letter J going around his head. And so finally I relented, and I just said to him, "Does the letter J mean anything to you?" And he goes, "That's my name. I'm Jay."
Wow.
Yeah, it's been a wild journey. I mean, I could go on like this all day. I don't know. I mean, it's cool, but like I said, I don't have a harness on it.
Okay.
It kind
But
of
so
went
you
like,
do this like professionally?
no, I did read cards for about 10 years, but then my professional job, it's too much to do both because I got so busy and so booked, and I'm not one of those people to drive prices like to match, and I probably could have and should have, but I don't feel right about it. I don't want to take that kind of money from people for a gift that I was given. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Right. Copenhagen's asking, can you do like remote view?
Like if
I,
somebody
I
went to your room.
I actually studied with the guys. I go on these junkets like on the internet, and I like behavior panelist. You know, on YouTube, the behavior panel. I've watched them since their inception. Well, I did the same thing with the remote viewing guys. Read every book I could get, and I practiced it and stuff. And yeah, I can work with that too. Yeah.
Holy cow.
One of the I got one for you. So my daughter and I started playing again because I thought at one point I really wanted to try to develop this, you know. So we started playing this game, and we would put something. We'd grab a topic, and we'd put the answer inside of an envelope and seal it up. And I had her make a bunch of them. And so we started off. We didn't get very far, and she gives me one, and I hold it, and I said to her, "Green and stalky." And she goes, "I think I'm going to die." And she goes, "You got to open it now." And I said, "Okay." So I tore it open, and it was the Incredible Hulk.
Wow.
That was so funny.
Kind of like Johnny Carson's Karnak, but for real.
Kind of, yeah. And that's what I kind of patterned that with. Yeah, exactly.
A real life Karnak in my life. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I will. I will. I got one. I got another one. Just came to my mind. I got sick.
Absolutely.
I got sick one time, really bad sick, with an infection that had gone to my brain, and I'd been at the hospital. We've done everything we can. I'm at home now. Got to just take the medicine and let it work. And I mean, I'm out of the scary water, right? And we had this crazy lightning storm. It's like colored lightning. I'd really never seen this kind of lightning before. And so I had opened up, I like that breeze and I like the lightning. So I'd opened up my big windows in my bedroom. And all of a sudden, this is so crazy because you could almost, okay. I took myself to a doctor over this because I thought I was schizophrenic. I'll be honest. I thought there was, because I literally heard a voice say to me, as fast as the voice said it, it happened. It said, there will be two dings. But and then as soon as that happened, ding ding, and then he goes, but a third will follow. And on this third one, something hit that screen, and I was out there in the whatever watching this lightning and stuff. And I went to my daughter's house, and I went to another friend's house, and was in my sister's car in the back seat. And so then the next day, I'm just scratching my head, going, "This is all so bizarre." So I thought, I'm gonna call my sister and see if she was actually in her car because I saw her drop the phone while she was talking to her friend Judy. She's all upset because I'm about me being sick and scared and worried about me. And so I called her. I said all these things, and she goes, "Oh my God, Nat, yes, I did, and I did drop the phone. And I was struggling going down the highway trying to reach it in the other floorboard, just as you saw it." So I thought, okay, with that, I will call my other friend. And that other friend, he says, "I sure was. I was standing outside with both my leather gloves on with the rake in my hand going, gosh, I wish I didn't have to go in and the sun was going down." Isn't that crazy?
That's I need you to figure out
How you can
what the
get
lottery
rich.
numbers are this weekend.
Huh?
Send that to me in a private message because I don't want the rest of these people to know what it is.
What's that?
The lottery numbers for this weekend.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And your plan to get rich.
I will share it with you. I promise.
Oh, okay.
That's incredible, though. I mean, I think a lot of people would love to have that gift.
You know, I really did. I really did present myself to a psychiatrist over that. And he told me, he said, by the mere fact that you've brought yourself here in concern tells me you're not.
Right.
And he did.
Right.
He said, he even said that he believes that some people have this gift.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm going to be honest. I mean, you wouldn't expect me to lie because I'm wearing a fake mullet, but um, I was on the fence about the whole psychic abilities, and now I kind of have a resident psychic medium that comes in my lives because she was able to tell me some things that are not on the internet about my family.
Really?
And yeah, so I believe in this stuff now, and I'll be the first one to admit I was pretty skeptical until Carrie came in my lives. But yeah, that's fascinating. I'd love it.
How often are you on?
I do these lives every Sunday and Monday at 7 p.m.
Okay.
Eastern time.
I have so many, my family and I, we all have so many that I ought to start writing some of them down, or even just making crib notes so that I could recall them when I would talk, you know.
Right.
But yeah, one of the most impressive things that I remember happening, or not impressive, but you know what I mean, impactful, memorable. When I was doing readings for a group of ladies who were all nurses from a children's hospital in my area, and there were so many of them that at this, I thought I'm going to take advantage of this and I'm going to do a group thing because I was feeling some stuff, and I'm just going to tell them what I'm feeling to all of them because we would go off, one at a time, and so I did, and I said somebody here is estranged from their sons, and how I knew there were multiple sons, and everybody looked at this one lady. I said, but here Thanksgiving's coming up. And you're going to not only rekindle the relationship, but they're going to come to your house. And not only are they going to come to their house and you're going to reunite, they're both going to move here to be closer to you so you can be with your grandkids. And it happened just exactly like I saw it. And she said, no, it'll never happen. Not going to happen. As a matter of fact, two of the other ladies had to call to tell me it happened.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it was very heartwarming.
Yeah. See, you're using your powers for good. You're like the superhero of mediums.
Whenever I hear somebody say, you've got a curse and you need to be relieved of it, that's the moment I know this is not from the right place and I should not be listening to you.
Right.
I mean, that could be an incorrect bias.
If like you said, you're not trying to make money off this, so you're just trying to help people, and that's awesome. Look, I got a hat.
That's awesome. Yay. I mean, I don't know how people get that secure unless they're blowing smoke is all I can say, because all I know about my gift is if I get something and it's for you, I'm going to tell you. I can't hold a secret anyway. So how am I going to tell you I need money for it?
Yeah, I love it. That is awesome.
Thank you.
That is
Yeah,
awesome.
it's been a wonderful journey. I like to say it's been a wild ride, and I hope I slide in home base all tore up, yelling "Yeehaw!"
Yeah, yeah. Wow. So, have you had any like ghost experiences or anything like that?
Yeah, kind of yeah, kind of a bit. Because like I was telling you, I worked with that ghost hunter group. It was actually led by a couple of police officers who started it because they had an encounter on duty. And I'm a medical professional, by the way, just so you know. That's a lot of cops and medical that we kind of congregate. Anyway, so I befriended this gal, and she had bought a house, and we had planned. I was going to be off this week, and she wasn't. So I went over and I painted for her because I love to paint. It's a brainless activity. Takes me to another place, and she comes home. And she goes, oh, I didn't show you on tiling my tile work in the bathroom down under the sink. I'm sure you couldn't see where I cut that tile around the hole. And because we'd been struggling with that, wondering how we were going to make that round circle, right? So she's standing there showing it to me, and I'm looking at her, and all of a sudden I see something forming over her right shoulder. And I go, and she sees my eyes getting big. And she goes, what? What is it? And I go, there's, and as I'm saying it, it starts to form, and it's an elderly lady. And I told her, I said, there's an elderly lady here standing behind you. And she said back to me, that's the next thing I was going to tell you. I just finally met the neighbors who told me that the last owner died in the house.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this was like a full body or just the face?
Oh yeah. Yes. No, I could see, it was just, she was standing behind her to the point where all I could see was her face over her shoulder. But then when I stepped back, I could see the rest of her because I started to step back away,
Wow.
giving
So
me a
was she,
different vantage point.
um, so was she in like modern clothes, or was it the?
Well,
I mean, you feel like it was the person who just died in that place?
right, she had just died like 2 years before, and then her son tried to keep the place, but let it get too out of whatever, and didn't pay the taxes too. Both of those things. So they ended up putting it up for sale, and my friend bought it, and yeah, that was pretty wild. I can't even. Oh, I know. Okay, I've got one. So my ex-husband was our local gas company, Southern Union Gas Company. It's a derivative of them, and he was the operations manager for the northwest area of our state. Pretty big, pretty important job. He was a CB. He's like what you call a trained, what do they call those people? Trained observer. Okay. And lots of credibility because of his job, and so what was I doing? I was up one night because I was, no, wait, back up. Why was I up? Something told me to go. I know this is crazy. Go to the cemetery because I lived right by a cemetery at this point. So we went over there, and I'd gotten this new digital cameras that just came out. I gotten this new digital camera, made sure everything was good and charged up because I've seen where it drains cameras, right? And we get to the cemetery and we're taking pictures. No big deal. He's kind of just watching, and he was a big skeptic until several things happened between he and I that made him a firm believer. And all of a sudden, I take this picture, and he goes, I could see a mist, and he goes, no, look a little closer. And he was right. It was a person. It was a picture of a person. And as soon as I said, oh my gosh, I see it, that whole thing like just broke up and pixelated and went, and the camera shut down and died, and there was no power, no battery left. Now another time,
this picture?
no, I didn't. It just pixelated and killed the camera, and there was no picture when we brought it back.
Oh,
Now,
wow.
another time, I downloaded a ghost app, right? And I took my daughter back to this, back up to the cemetery with me. Now, they're back in the corner under big shade trees from the 1800s. There's several children's headstones. So we were putting some pieces of candy on them, right? And we're running this ghost app. So we get over to the one, and I'm asking him questions. Do you like being over here by the woods? And and finally I changed the word to timber. You like the timber line, and I was getting nothing. And then finally I get woods, scary, until it won't stop. I had to delete the app. It would never stop saying it. Yep.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
that one was cool.
Yeah.
Okay, here's something that happened. So I thought, and this is where it gets, I thought at one point that I was just codependent because I would get so deep into thinking about someone's actions and what they might be doing and who they said to what and who they went. And so one day I said, that can't be. It just can't be. And I'm pushing 40 now when I'm thinking this. I can't be that codependent. So I'm waiting all day for my husband to come home, and he gets home and I say, did you go to, there's a parts place called Jack Horner. And I go, did you go to Jack Horner's today to look for parts for the gas company? And you couldn't find, you guys go to this big like rack shelving and you look and you can't find it. Go back to the computer and the guy says, there is one in Kansas City. And so you go to Kansas City and you get this part. And he looks at me astonished and says, yeah, Nat, that happened today. How'd you know? I'm like, that was my first test of testing this deep, what I thought was codependent thinking. And now I wonder how many years of that I lost where I knew stuff,
Right. You were just ignoring it, basically.
Then another time he came home and I said, you're gonna be talking to a friend, and this friend's gonna tell you you need to go meet his banker. And when you go there, you're gonna rewrite all your loans, and you're gonna walk out of there with money in your pocket. And he laughed. 1 week to that day, that happened to him.
Wow.
Yep.
Do you happen to see me with a bunch of money?
I'd have to focus on it.
I'll take that as a no. I get it. I I don't know where this is going.
I see
I
you
just like
being
to correct
happily
you.
comfortable. I see you being comfortable, happily. But that's the thing about you. You enjoy life so much that I don't think you're gonna put millions away. You're not that miser, dude. You're more interested in family, fun, and friends.
My wife just gave you the thumbs up because that is absolutely true.
And
My
making
philosophy
statements.
is enjoy it while it lasts.
100%, I'm with you.
Yep.
That's why. And thank you for providing an arena where I felt safe to say those things.
I hope everybody does because there's no judgment in here. Because if people start judging in the comments, I've got Laura and Becca. They're out of here. They're getting blocked. This is a safe place for anybody who has a paranormal encounter.
That is super cool. I like that. And I noticed there weren't like 3,000 people in the room too, so that helped.
Well, yeah, I've got
I know.
10,000 followers and only 9 of them show up. So
Well, that's wonderful. Congratulations. I'm still struggling to get there. I got one more.
okay,
Just dawned on me. I was working with an ultrasound tech, and we're standing around with a bunch of other ladies, right? And I don't know why I did it. I'm still mad at myself, but sometimes I can't hold it back, right? And I turned to her, like it was another one of those instances, didn't know I was going to say it. I turned to her and I go, "You're pregnant." And she goes, "No, Sally, I'm not pregnant," and walks off immediately, right? So about an hour or two later, after lunch, she sees me in the hall and she comes over and she corners. She goes, "Come here, come here. How did you know that? I am pregnant. Did somebody say something to you? Because I haven't told anybody here." I just loved it.
yeah, that that would freak me out though if I was a woman and nobody knew, or maybe did she even know at the time?
Yeah, she knew. She said she had just found out like 2 or 3 days before.
Oh
Like
wow,
just a few days before.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So here's another route you can take this, or a route that I have tried to take, because I'm always trying to explain it in an alternative method, right? So there's I don't know if you've heard of Myers-Briggs the 16 personalities.
no, but
No,
I had an ex-wife that had about 43 personalities.
like my mother. uh, so I'm what they call an INFJ, and that's a introverted feeling intuition. And there is the word judging in there, but it's not judging like you're thinking. It's judging like I would be the person you would want to be there if there was a crisis, because I can stay calm and make those calls. And that's kind of judging, right? Okay, so I have tried to sometimes chalk it up to that, because what they say that intuitive part of that personality is that you rapidly can read faces and actions.
Yeah,
I can read faces and actions to tell you that your kids are coming back home. There ain't no way.
right. Have you
But
ever
some
thought
of
about
these,
a police officer?
huh?
Do you ever consider being a police officer?
I love the law. As a matter of fact, my dad, when he died, he was still mad at me for not going to law school.
I think you'd made a really good police officer or a lawyer. Yeah.
Yeah, I, I actually, okay, here we go. I hope there's nobody out, because I had to sign a non-disclosure. They paid me to sign a
No,
non-disclosure.
no, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Don't say anything because this will go on YouTube at some point.
Right, right. No, no, we're fine. I think we're out of the water now.
Okay.
70.
I accept no liability in this lawsuit that this may be happening. It's all on Natalie. I
Yep,
just want it to be out there for everybody.
yep.
Go ahead.
I take full responsibility. Okay, so
Okay.
I worked for a group of attorneys who had a malpractice insurance firm, and my official title was underwriter, but what I really did was investigate these doctors and some salespeople. To be honest with you, some of his consultants, one of them I got some really bad imagery from. And so I went down that road with this whole thing. And I went to him and I proposed my theory at the and he goes, put that all in a report for me. And so I did, and I didn't know what he was going to do with it. Well, he went to St. Louis. He called this guy, set up a meeting, went to St. Louis with him, started going through the report. He stops the middle of this meeting. Now, this is the head attorney for this firm, and calls me up and says, I want to know how you did this because this is uncanny. I've got the guy sitting here in front of me admitting to everything because of so many correct statements. Yep. And so we were able to part ways with that guy and alleviate ourselves from any future concerns.
Yeah. Wow. That, I tell you what, you have some amazing stories. I assume that you have more.
Yeah. Yeah. Some of them, I'm going light here.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, why don't you make some notes
Uh-huh.
and come back tomorrow?
Okay. Oh, you're back
Okay.
here tomorrow?
Yeah, I do it every Sunday and Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Can't
Okay.
come back tomorrow. I'll be on next weekend, next Sunday. But make some notes, and I want to hear more.
Okay. I will do that. And I will, I'll confirm with you. I'll shoot you a little DM. So there you go.
Right.
And,
Right.
and
And
I'll,
also, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel.
oh, that's right.
There's a Mullets. You can find it by clicking on my profile here on TikTok, because eventually this interview will be on YouTube as well.
Can I tell you something really? There's no coincidences, okay? I have to believe that. I have no choice.
Nope.
I am about to start a YouTube channel, and I am so stuck on what in the heck am I going to use for a niche?
I think you have a niche, and
Okay.
you know, we can help you get up to 50 subscribers, and maybe you and I can do a live together.
Okay. I'll consider that. Let's start.
Yeah.
I don't want to scare myself out of anything, so I'm going to start with this first thing, and I'll make those notes. I'll spend my evening making some notes as where I'm doing my other stuff, and I'll plan on just coming back tomorrow then.
Okay, I will be here 7 p.m. Eastern time.
Sounds good. I'm going to get back to some other stuff. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you. Thanks for everybody for being here. We appreciate you.
Yes, thank you, Natalie.
Thank you. Can you end me?
I sure can.
All right. Thanks. Bye.